last 2 weeks, we've already had 4 snow days. Let's check with Mr. Moore to see what qualifies a snow day. So what determines a snow day?
So a couple factors go into that. One will be, driving. Is it safe? We have students coming from over 5 counties, and so there's a lot we have to figure in. We work with IHM and Resurrection, so we kind of operate as a K-12 system. So sometimes we have to consider for the partner elementaries, they have some walkers, so we got to consider sidewalks. Is that doable for them? Sometimes it's cold, so it's not really just snow, so cold can be a factor. Usually if it gets 25 below, that's what we're kind of looking at, but in most cases, snow is, can people get here?
Will we ever have to make up school?
So the state has, a rule of so many days, usually it's between 5 or 6, that public schools have to make up. We are not a public school, so we don't necessarily have to follow that guideline, but we need to keep in mind we're about learning, and so we don't want to rob you of that. You may not always feel that way. You're like, no, please rob me as much as you can. But we have a lot of kids in AP classes where, they need that time to make sure. But even non-AP classes that, we want to make sure you're not getting shortchanged in your education, not just because you pay for it, but because as you go to the next level, we want to make sure you don't have certain holes. So, right now we're not going to make any up. I think we'll be okay. When we have days off beyond that first one, you guys are doing hopefully your homework that teachers have given you to kind of, compensate for being off, so you're not missing some things. But if it got to where we had a lot of days off, a couple years ago, a couple of Catholic schools were considering, no, we need to make some time up because we've just missed too much instruction. So that's really, working with our staff, we would weigh that and then go from there. But as of right now, we're good.
Who calls the snow days?
So this year, usually I'm the one that's calling it per se, but talked to Mr. Maloney before when Mr. Piku was here. Would communicate with him. Now with Mr. Kimball here, check with him. Mrs. Jerminski, my administrative assistant, we talk. Then I talk to the elementary school principals, and then usually with the snow, I try to get out by 5:15 and actually drive some of the roads. So I live on the west side. Sometimes I'll try to drive here to school. I'll try to drive out to DeWitt, try some of the highways, see how those. So that's usually how we make that distinction.
So now we know how we can get a snow day. Will we get another one?